let's get into the first topic. And like I said, I'm going to be addressing the video that I put out in regards to Black women and child deletions. If you've been watching my channel for an extended period of time, when do I respond and why would I bring up the topic of Black women and child deletions? If you know my channel, do I ever bring anything up that's unprovoked about Black men? I mean, ever. Why would I even have a reason to address Black women and child deletions unless there was something that triggered Black men? I wouldn't have a reason to even explore these types of topics if I didn't see our fellow women lying on Black men. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you right here. You see this? This narrative has been going on for a while now. This picture was being shared by multiple Black women on TikTok. It says for that day alone, every 4 hours a Black woman / girl was deleted in the US by a Black man. Hashtag Black Femicide US, hashtag Black Femicide. So the reason why I respond to these types of things is because I see our women lying on us. So in order to put things into perspective, since we're talking about deletions, the reason why I brought up the child deletions numbers is because of the fact that this lie is being spread about Black men. And I had to put things into perspective for Black women to help them understand what they're saying and who actually deletes the most when in comparison. And by all means, this is a weird conversation or thing to address, because why are we comparing deletions in the Black community, mind you? So there was I guess a new content creator. Well, I think he had his page for a while now. And he tagged me in his video, and I looked at it, and he was just saying, man, you know, Mediumman, I don't know why he bringing up his statistics. And again, they're not my statistics. I didn't create these. Black women did in regards to child deletions. So I want to say that first. And then he was like, well, it's a lot of men that force Black women into getting child deletions, which is wild. That is a wild statement. And I could just tell that the young man didn't do his research. And at first, I was going to comment under his page and I was going to clip it up, his video up, and respond to it here. But I was like, nah, you know what? It's all good, because I don't, I guess, consider this beef, or I don't respond to guys who have, ill-informed talking points about the content that I create. And also, I'm not for trying to shame a Black man in these spaces. By all means, get your money, try and get, as many followers if you can. And if using my videos as a way to springboard your channel is what you plan on doing, have at it, brother. But just know that I won't see it moving forward, and you won't see my content moving forward unless you have somebody send it to you. But this is the reason why I had to discuss the child deletions. And for some odd reason, nobody ever has an issue when Black women have been running with this narrative for years. But when I put out the actual statistics, then it's a problem. The second thing that I saw was that people were telling me to go deeper in regards to the child deletions number, because as I told you guys, it's been 20 million over the past 50 years. That equates to about 400,000 every year for those 50 years. And I don't understand why it's so hard for people to ask me a question when all this stuff is Googleable, if that's even a word. Type it in Google. It was that simple for me to get. And I've always known these numbers. And that's why I said it's hard for me to talk about this topic, because no matter how you spin it, it doesn't get better for Black women, because ultimately it is their responsibility. There was a young man, and I won't say his name, but he did comment it publicly on my page. He said that his ex-girlfriend, she got pregnant and he wanted to keep the child. And she told him no. So if it was our responsibility as men to make those decisions, why wasn't it his decision if he wanted to keep that child? Because of the fact that it's my body, my choice. Women have that responsibility. And we're going to break this down here in a second, but I can't believe I have to say this. People always say, well, yeah, men, they have sex with women and, women can get pregnant. I understand that. When the child is here, the man is responsible. I get it. But before that, in regards to carrying the child and making sure that you don't get pregnant, whose responsibility is that? Is it the man's or the woman's?
You think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
I'm asking you.
Why don't I want to have kids? I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
You have a kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
When is the black community gonna hold black women accountable? I'm not gonna do it. I'm just here to present the statistics. I care less about a woman's preferences and how they feel about certain situations. That's why there's no need to argue. But I'm just saying, don't come over here trying to use my content and be like, hey, man, this guy is wicked and he's just using these numbers to shame black women. No, black women have been shaming us with this rhetoric. Let me show you guys something real quick. You guys remember this? This is easy access to the FBI supplementary homicide reports from 1980 to 2020. It is 2024. That's within the 5-year mark. So it gives us a pretty clear-cut view in regards to the homicide numbers. I am not trying to minimize deletions, homicides. Definitely not. One is too many. And I said that about, child deletions as well. One is too many, right? Every time you see a black woman deleted, a black man deleted, it's too many. Life was cut short. Don't like it at all. I'm against it 100%. But it is necessary that we put things into perspective in regards to the small percentage of men that black women are referring to by saying that we delete you guys every 4 hours. And then we're going to look at how many child deletions black women have every day. And then we can compare the two. 2020, characteristics of offender: male, black. Characteristics of first victim. Leave the age open. Let's put female, black. And then we're going to leave all this open because we want all the numbers. Now, do you see that? For the year 2020, let's say all 1,336 were just one-to-one deletions. One black man deleted one black woman, so on and so forth. All the way up to 1,036. So in 2020, 1,036 black men deleted black women. Let's just say that approximately for the show, right? We're not going to even get into reoffenders and how many guys did the same crime, so on and so forth. Let's just say it was 1,036. Let's keep it simple. So this was the criteria that I used, and this was from the victim. And then this is from 2020, race of victim, oldest offender, black, just left it open. So you had 1,147. So let's do some quick math here. I want to show you, I did the figures myself. So if we have 1,147 black female victims of homicide in 2020, you take that 1,147 and you divide it by how many days that we have in the year, 365. What that translates to is there's 24 hours in a day. So you divide that by 3.14, and what do you get? You get 7.6 hours. So a black woman is supposedly deleted by one-to-one black man every day, every 7.6 hours. What they've been saying is either 4 or 5. Have you guys heard this before? So if you don't know, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they report these numbers every year. This is the most current one. It was released November 25th, 2022. You can expect another one coming here very, very shortly at the end of the year. This is the morbidity and mortality weekly report, right? And I got these numbers from the Deletion Surveillance United States 2020. Like I said, the same year that we got the deletions from, right? People saying go deeper on the deletion statistics, child deletion statistics. I'm like, what are y'all looking for? Because it doesn't get better. Among the 30 areas that reported race by ethnicity for 2020, non-Hispanic white women and non-Hispanic black women accounted for the highest percentages of all abortions. 32.7% for white women and 39.2% for black women. And Hispanic women and non-Hispanic women in the other race category accounted for lower percentages, 21.1 and 7% respectively. White women had the lowest deletion rates. That was 6.2 per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44. And black women, once again, had the highest child deletion rate at 24.4 deletions per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44 years. So, for everybody who was trying to debunk and ask why I'm putting these statistics out and why I didn't go deeper, is because of that reason. Do you really think I like reporting this stuff? Do you understand now? I don't know what y'all was looking for, but I'm not done. I'm not done. Let me put things into perspective. Since you want to talk about the deletions for black men every year, right? Let's talk about the deletions for every day for black women, child deletions. So, results. So this is from the same report. I just wanted you guys to see the screenshot just in case somebody's out there saying that, I'm tripping. Where'd you get that, those statistics from? Same report from the MMWR report, reported by the CDC. The results were 620,327 deletions for 2020. Again, for the same reporting year, were reported to the CDC from 49 areas. So let's use that highest number of the total that were reported. So if there was 620,327 deletions for 2020, 39.2% of those deletions, of those 620,000, were from black women. That equates to 243,168 black female child deletions in 2020. 243,000 black female child deletions in 2020 divided by how many days in a year? 365, right? That equates to, ironically, 666 black female child deletions every day. 666. 666 a day divided by 24 hours in a day equates to 27.75 child deletions by black women. So do you really want to compare the two or point the finger about black men, and even though one is too many, but you really want to use that as your talking point by saying black men delete y'all every 4 hours? What if we were to put up that statistic? What if I was to run around and make a picture saying something similar, but with 27.75 every hour? What if I was to put that up there, black women, the ones who hate black men? Would that be fair? This is crazy, man. Oh, man. So let's go over some statistics in regards to why people have child deletions, because that was the other narrative that people were saying that, man, you need to figure out why, because black men are forcing black women to have these child deletions. Can black men do that? Can you force a woman into having a child deletion? So this is from August 7th, 2023, Very Well Health. Why do people have child deletions? And it was medically reviewed and also fact checked, just so people can see this. You see that? Just in case. Other top issues that influence this choice are related to not being prepared to be a parent and the relationship with one's partner. Okay, so the top reason is not financially prepared. Does that have anything to do with the man? No. Unless you're in a relationship together, and that's one of the reasons. But that's not forcing anything. Not a good time, 36%. Issues with partner, let's just say that falls into the category. Let's just say, hypothetically, 31% of men are, just to say black men, since we always get pigeonholed as the reason why, right? So let's just say 31% of black men force black women, if that's even possible, to have a child deletion. Need to focus on other children. That's another reason. Interferes with future plans. I've heard women say that one before. Not emotionally or mentally prepared. Health issues. Unable to provide a good life. And they have that in quotations because it is subjective. Not independent or mature enough. Influence from family or friends. Or just simply don't want children. It said these findings are the result of a 5-year survey of people who had at least one child deletion and were asked to give reasons they chose to terminate their pregnancy. Let's say unmarried, right here. The majority of women who choose to have a child deletion are unmarried. According to data from 2019, 85.5% of those who had child deletions were single women. Now, let me do some reading here. It says these patterns of child deletions, I will just say A's from now on. I'm doing too much with that. These patterns of A's rates mirror the levels of unintended pregnancy seen across the same groups. Among the poorest women, Hispanics are the most likely to experience an unintended pregnancy. Overall, however, black women are 3 times as likely as white women to experience an unintended pregnancy. Hispanic women are twice as likely because black women experience so many unintended pregnancies than any other group, sharply disproportionate to their numbers in the general population. They are more likely to seek out and obtain aid services than any other group. In addition, because black women as a group want the same number of children as white women, but have so many more unintended pregnancies, they are more likely than white women to terminate an unintended pregnancy by abortion or by deletion to avoid unwanted birth. So again, like I said, when you guys ask me to dig deeper into these numbers, this is the reason why I don't, because it doesn't get better. And for the men and women who said that, you're not explaining the full story, Mediumman. You need to dig a little deeper. What was you expecting to see? That they was just going to sit there and say the reason why is because black men. That's what you was looking for? You thought the statistics was just going to point out black men? Because black men are most likely to force black women into getting a child deletion. You really think that was going to happen? Because it doesn't exist. At the end of the day, it is your decision. I don't know why. It's like y'all forget that when we start talking about statistics and numbers. But when we're having a general conversation, every woman will shout at the top of their lungs, it's my decision. A man can't tell me to keep and or, delete a child. Do we hear that? We hear this all the time, right? Goodness gracious. And this is from the Guttmacher Institute. I reported from them before, one of the top medical institutes. Behind the numbers, the deletion rates among women in minority communities have followed the overall downward trend over the 3 decades of legal deletion. At the same time, however, black women consistently have the highest deletion rates, followed by Hispanic women. Same thing. This holds true even when controlling for income. At every income level, black women have higher deletion rates than whites or Hispanics, except for women below the poverty line, where Hispanic women have slightly higher rates than black women. So let's unpack that there. The narrative is that every black woman is doing very well financially, and they always like to push these types of numbers on the impoverished black women. They're the ones that's having all the deletions. Y'all have heard this before, right? This just debunks that, because black women don't even lead and the most poverty-stricken women when they have child deletions. It's Hispanic women. So at every income level, Black women lead in child deletions. So we will not sit here and say that all of these high earning Black women, highly educated Black women, aren't having these same issues, are getting pregnant by dudes that they don't want to have children with. You want me to keep going? You want me to keep uncovering this stuff? You let me know. And you see, I rarely clip these types of videos up, because if I do, it'll be shocking to a lot of people. You know, and like I said, I don't take pride in talking about this stuff, man. But when y'all force me to do this to protect the Black male ethnic image, then I ain't got no choice. I don't want false narratives, you know, being pushed on social media about Black men, saying that we're inherently dangerous to Black women. So, I mean, man, to do with that information what y'all will. And I know I spent a lot of time on that, but it was necessary because, like I said, I seen that video and I seen the comments. I'm like, what are y'all expecting? You swear that everything that happens in the Black community is on Black men. It's Black men's fault. No. We will never get anywhere if we continue down the same road of not holding Black women accountable. And it's not going to come from Black men with podcasts, so you know how they feel about us. I mean, goodness gracious. Boy.